In this video, we're going to look at the core sample from a tree age increment borer sample that I took here on a Douglas fir tree, which was predominantly it was more of a dominant, codominant tree in forest stand position. But I did miss the pith. So if I look at the core sample at the end here, you'll see that the pith was somewhere off to this side. So I was a little bit to the right of the pith, which is pretty easy to do, especially if you're boring a tree on a hill, because they don't grow perfect. It's not a perfect cylinder. So what you have to do is basically reconstruct. So I've kind of reconstructed what that would look like in terms of growth, and I'm just coming up with the average ring increment here based upon what we're seeing in these early years. And with the slope of these growth rings, you can kind of tell that yes, we're being pushed over to this direction is where the pith would be. And so in this situation, I'm going to add 2 more rings, 2 more years to my first year here. And so I'm going to continue that. So I'm going to say here's 1, year 2, year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I've gone ahead and marked out my 10-year mark with just a Sharpie. And then I continued down the line here, and this tree has some interesting things going on. You see what happens here is that the incremental growth starts to slow down. So as this tree makes it to year 20, the growth that it incurred over that 20 years has started to change. It's getting less. And then here's the next 10 years. And in that next 10 years, the growth diminishes almost to about half, if not a little bit more than the previous 10-year period. And then at the end of that, there was 1 more year of growth where our incremental growth was pretty tight. This tree was doing what we call shutting down. And then something happened. I don't know what happened basically 60 years ago, but about year 31, something occurred and this tree was opened up to some light. And what happened is what we call release. So we started to see some improvements in incremental growth. And it started to, once again, almost double or triple its average 10-year interval. So I continued that all the way down. You can see the remaining years are all very consistent in terms of overall growth. But adding those up, we ended up down here at year, I believe this was year 80, and then there were 9 additional years beyond that. So this particular sample was a total of 89 years. So hopefully that helps you figure out aging trees. Real common thing that we do in forests. Some situations you'll actually have this year the stand was planted, and that can be very, very helpful if those records were transferred down from owner to owner.